can shock, you know, and I don't know. Let's experiment with it.
Well, welcome to Talking.Beer. I'm Ryan.
I'm Brett.
Today we got a wide variety of stuff. Just a reminder, Rising Pint is in. It's time to get your tickets. Get on board with that now because we're getting some ticket sales.
Yeah. And some breweries are rolling in that I hadn't. A Connecticut brewery emailed me the day I hadn't heard of.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wants to be involved, which is great.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
So we get a lot of stuff in front of us, Brett, and right away I'm looking at this guy because I love the Yingling. And then you said there's a couple other
solid amber Vienna style lager.
Okay.
Vienna is it's a European style, old world German style that uses amber malt, so that makes it amber in color. What else did I bring? I got Jack from City Steam gave me a new beer, Bloom Double IPA from City Steam that is brand new. Jeff over there, the new brewer, is making some awesome stuff. Matt Westfall's making some awesome stuff down in Hamden, Connecticut at Counterweight. Am I getting in the square here?
Yeah.
And then this comes out this week. This is KBS.
The infamous. KBS. And it looks like, in my book, like Stubby's buffalo sauce or hot sauce. But it's new, so what is it? What's Founders KBS?
Founders KBS is Kentucky Breakfast Stout. You have their Breakfast Stout, which you can get all year round now, and then this is Kentucky Breakfast Stout, where they age in bourbon barrels.
So is it good for morning drinking?
Sure. It's a great start to the day. Actually, I recall getting ready for the Manchester Road Race, drinking a couple of breakfast stouts before the race. I have a fresh Julius from Treehouse. I have an Almanac from our basement in my house that has been aged for a little while. That's Almanac makes some awesome real sours that are aged in wood. Real wild ales. They use tons of grapefruit. I know we talked about Casey last week. Yep. Almanac is pretty damn good too.
I like their logo. I like actually the font they use for this logo. It's very. I mean, it's a nice looking bottle.
Yeah. And then the last one is something that a friend of mine sent to me last year. Was the brewmaster at Prairie Artisan Ales and moved to India to become a brewmaster, and then has moved since somewhere else now, and I'm not exactly sure where he is.
And that's a cool bottle too. I like their weird graphics.
And that's a collaboration with from Prairie and True.
Ah, okay. So it's right on the front there.
Yeah.
Collaboration. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we sipping on?
Well, I don't know, Hardy, where do you want to start?
I'm open.
I'm really kind of eyeballing this thing.
All right, let's try it. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Well,
let's see if Brett can open this week's.
That was much easier.
Much easier. A little broken hammer.
Yeah. Well, we try to pride ourselves on using something different every week to open bottles.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever opened a beer on?
Another beer. And not spill.
And not spill. Okay.
Right. This is going like this.
Oh, and just flip flopping them over.
Oh yeah.
Quick enough.
It works. So far, every single time. We'll do that one of these days. So this is a
cheers.
Sour Farmhouse Red Ale. So they start with a red ale, which is going to have some caramel malt, a little bit richer. So, and then they age it in wood barrels.
I did find out why Irish Reds are Irish Reds. It was invented there. That's pretty much it. Well, I mean, not why they're an Irish Red, but why that is such a St. Patty's Day drink.
Yeah, well, all right.
I got a question in. Someone I was asking about can shock and bottle shock.
The can shock thing is something that I've heard about from people that visit Treehouse and drink these fresh New England style IPAs, as I do consume them also regularly. But I'm doing an experiment with the brewmaster from Blue Point, Dan, to just kind of figure out and dial in why does this exist? Because at first, as a certified Cicerone, It's not something we ever learn. Fresh beer tastes better. It can't possibly get better. An IPA can't get better 3 weeks.
So when I step back a second and tell me what it actually can shock is.
Well, I'm told that it tastes better after 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been experimenting with it here and there because I seem to not be able to drink all of my Treehouse every week.
Sure.
But so I'm actually doing an experiment, and I overnighted some Julius to the brewmaster Dan at Blue Point so that we can think about it together and figure out what it is that can shock is, because I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think we've come down to what that is, which I believe is the fact that these New England style IPAs, obviously when you look at them in a glass, which we should look at in a glass.
I believe you're right.
Which I want to thank Ben again for allowing me to just walk through his brewery downstairs and just grab cups and come upstairs. So, hazy.
This is very hazy.
Yes, this is 321 dated Julius. So what I'm looking at is there's definitely yeast in suspension here.
Yep.
There's probably some flaked oats in suspension also to make it a bigger, nice mouthfeel, nice full, rich mouthfeel. And then the yeast is also in there, but you don't really taste the yeast. You don't really feel the yeast. It's there, but you don't really, I guess you could a little bit. But for the most part, you don't really feel the yeast, but you definitely taste yeast. So what I'm thinking is going on here is it's not finished.
Yep.
This is not a finished beer. It hasn't fully crashed out. It would take some time for it to condition and crash out, which we don't want this beer to crash out. We want it to stay in suspension. So there's definitely probably some residual sugars left in there.
Crashed out meaning everything's fallen to the bottom of the can.
Yeah, and the yeast ate all of the residual sugars that are left over that hadn't been eaten yet by the yeast. So we figuring and guessing, and we don't know for sure, but this seems like a nice educated guess, is that what's happening is over that 2-3 week period is the yeast is left in there is alive. So it's basically can conditioning. So that yeast is eating the residual sugars, thus cleaning the beer over that 2 week period. And that's why sometimes the beer might seem to taste better over 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, so
a ton of people say like Treehouse is best at 3 weeks, and I'm like, that can't be.
Do you agree?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I do love the part that makes me not agree with it is that I love Day Fresh Green, and I try if I have the time the day they release Green to go get Green, because my favorite beer in the world is Green that's brewed today.
Sure.
Today's date on it. So this is
Julius. 321. So that's what's today? The 29th. So this is a week old.
A week old.
This is a week old. You can see how suspended it is.
So maybe we'll do it here too. Maybe we'll bring one next week and then the week after.
So you have the same can date and you bring it 3 weeks in a row. And we can say, okay, this is what it looks like hazy-wise here.
Yep.
Ideally, they're all from the same batch, right? So
that's... Yeah, and what I'm tasting is an awesome Julius right now.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's super clean, super hoppy. I don't taste just a little bit of touch of malt. I think maybe if I'm being really particular, I do kind of taste, some malt. It's not complete fruit juice, but it is a beer after all. So I'm not expecting it to be fruit juice, but I think the people that say that it is best after 3 weeks are maybe expecting it to be fruit juice.
Okay.
And I would say that Treehouse is great because beer does end up tasting similar to fruit juice, which how easy is it to drink fruit juice? It's easy. So the jury is out still. I don't really know the answer, but I just hear about can conditioning or can shock, and I don't know. Let's experiment with it. It'll take some time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, I think it'll also be interesting to see, with the camera angles, can we take it, put it here, and really look and see if there's any difference? See if there's a hazy difference, see if there's a suspension difference, things like that.
I would imagine there might be some yeast falling out, but I don't know that it does, because I have drank and experimented and left Treehouses in the back of my refrigerator for a while and then be like, well, wait a minute. And not that it's just Treehouse that makes beers like this. I just happen to have those most frequently in my refrigerator.
All right, so what else we want to try?
Well, I think we should drink the stout.
All right,
the
let's make it
timing
happen.
is going to be
So this is coming out in the
April
next
2nd.
week, April 2nd. So if you are interested, it'll be in liquor stores in a couple days. Or by the time I get done editing this, a week ago.
Oh,
It's a really dark, thick looking beer.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like the way that
Rose.
yeah, that head rose. It went up from the bottom.
So this is a high alcohol beer. This is going to be, let's see what it is this year. 12.3.
So I want to just go back to this a little bit for a second.
Oh yeah.
This was like a sour beer, but it was a deceptive sour beer. Like I didn't catch it off my nose that it was going to be sour, and then as I was drinking, I was like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah.
That's,
I'm thinking that's aged in barrels, but either way, it's a farmhouse ale. A farmhouse ale is kind of like a saison, so you do get grassy notes. It's more of a raw style of a beer,
Okay.
and that's the term farmhouse. It's kind of a developed on the French side of Belgium.
okay.
That's where saison.
Saison.
Uh,
I'm French. Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
so
Know the movie? All right. So this is a stout. It's very, as we can see, it's very dark, very heavy.
yeah, but what do you smell?
Coffee,
Rich.
chocolate, coffee.
They use Kona or no, Sumatra coffee,
It's nice.
which I loved in my Christmas coffee from Starbucks. That
But it
was
is not very heavy on
Sumatra.
the tongue. Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's not.
Sorry, what are you saying?
Well, no, the Christmas coffee from Starbucks was awesome. It was Sumatra, and that's what's in here, Sumatra.
Okay.
So it's dark roast coffee.
Yeah.
because you can smell the dark roast.
But it's got, it's very thick.
Mm.
Nice.
It's thick, but it goes. It's pretty. It's not too thick on your mouth.
No,
and
it's
I'm
not.
not picking up any malt grittiness.
No,
at
not at all.
With some big stouts, you pick up a lot of malt grittiness. It's not that great, but some of them boil them for 120 minutes versus 60 minutes. So these ones that take the time to boil it for the full 120 minutes,
Sure.
it just sits nicer on the mouth. It just goes smoother. It's just a smoother product, much better mouthfeel.
I have next week, I have some aged beer for you. That is my private stock. From college.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I can't wait for this one.
I'm going to bring you something special. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts, your ideas, what you want to see more of, what kind of shock you want to see. Tune in next week. We're going to see what this shock looks like again. And thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.